What's going on, everyone? This is Peter again with Snacks in the Stacks. I felt like some fried chicken again, so I might as well go Japanese with it. This week, I'm going to be making karaage. Karaage is a very traditional Japanese fried chicken dish, like little, delicious, juicy, crunchy nuggets. You can do them strips, you can do them bone-in too. This method does work for that, and if you do it correctly, you can make this gluten-free, but it is traditionally has flour and gluten-free items in it too, like cornstarch, potato starch, wherever you want. There are varying methods to this, and the book I just finished, which I really enjoyed, was called The Wok. This is a great book by Kenji López-Alt. He is, if I remember correctly, the originator of the Food Lab. If you've ever watched that stuff online, you probably know who this guy is. It's a great book, great read. There's so many tips in here on keeping your wok, flavoring your wok, making sure it doesn't rust out like mine did once a couple years ago. And I just recently bought a stovetop one, which has a nice flat bottom with a nice circular inside too, that a wok should have. Stay tuned. Again, this is a pretty straightforward fried chicken dish. Potato starch, cornstarch, got our mirin, soy sauce, toasted sesame oil, boneless thighs, AP flour, etc. You can go different routes with this. Like I said, you can do gluten-free. Microplane is used for fresh ginger, which I did not buy. I completely forgot to grab it. Luckily, I do have a lot of dry ginger for seasoning and so forth, and that's the flat wok I've been using for a little while now. About 1/3 a cup of soy sauce to go in your mix for the chicken. Do about 1/3 a cup of some mirin also. And now, there it is. You're going to want some dry sake too. For this, I would say about 1/2 a cup because there's a lot of sweetness in there also that's going to coat that chicken very nicely once we submerge it in it. Like I said, just a little bit of sesame oil. You don't even have to do this. That's not traditional. And there is our dried ginger, which I have lots of for times when I forget, like I did the fresh ginger. You can't have too much of this stuff, honestly, but the dry stuff won't go as far, so that's why I put in a little extra. Don't forget your whiskey business as you put it together. You're going to see a little bit of a color change as you put in a little bit of sea salt also. Now we're going to add a little bit of our cornstarch. Remember, you always want your liquid to be cold or room temp with cornstarch. Never have it hot. It will not work the way you want it to. We're looking for a good coloring on this, about a light brown. That's the color we're looking for. The cornstarch has done its business. This is the mix we're going to be putting, or the slurry we're going to be putting our chicken in. Let it rest in there for at least an hour. If you can do 8 to 12, do that also. For the chicken, you're going to want to cube it up. Like I said, it's almost like a nugget, but you can do strips too if you wish. So I usually just go straight half, right down the middle, and then I half that also. Or take a strip and then half that, however you wish to cut it. You can certainly take off a little bit of the excess fat too if you wish to, but again, more fat, more flavor. So I would suggest keeping some on there, and this will also keep your chicken very juicy on the inside once it's nice and crispy from the frying. Always need some sauces for dipping. I'm going to go for a sweet, vinegary, and spicy sauce first, almost like an Asian buffalo, I'd say. So you're going to half a scallion and then trim it pretty finely. I'm going to put that in as our base. And then you're going to want some hot sriracha to coat this in. This is going to give the spice element that you really want, or what I want. You don't necessarily have to like this. We're going to put in some hot sesame oil also to give it a little extra kick. Then we're going to cover it in some mirin. It's going to give it our bitter note, which we really want. And then I'm going to add in some honey, which is going to give it the sweet note we want. Now, if you can let this sit for a little over an hour, that would be helpful. Or you can put it in a jar and shake it up really quick. Either way works, but this is a nice sweet and sour and spicy route to go with it. We're going for a creamy base sauce next. So first, we're going to use some sriracha mayo, which has Kewpie mayo in it, which also is very helpful. Going to use a little drizzle of soy sauce. Then again, a little toasted sesame oil. A little bit of pot sticker sauce. Some crushed red pepper. Some brown sugar. Sorry about the camera shaking. Dark brown sugar works better. Then we're just going to mix it up. I realize this may not look very appetizing, but if you've ever made a peanut satay sauce for some Thai peanut chicken, you will understand why this looks the way it looks. May not be very appetizing looking, but trust me, it does have some good flavor. We're going to throw in some sesame seeds also, some white ones, because those, again, have a little more sweetness to them. Throw in some more ground ginger, mix it up again. And again, like always, if you can let this sit for about an hour or so, that will certainly be helpful. Today, I'm going to be using peanut oil. If you can use peanut oil, I would suggest doing so. It's a little more expensive, but vegetable and or canola oil does work also. Today, I'm going to be doing straight potato starch. Like I said, you can mix this up together. Always flavor it too. So we're going to do some salt, some granulated garlic, more ginger, some black pepper, and whiskey together. And then we're going to take our chicken out of the fridge and we're going to start dredging. The best thing about karaage too is also you can double fry this and triple fry it if you have a hanging rack on the side of your wok. This will make for a much more crispier, delicious bite. Don't forget to set up your plate, or in this case, a bowl. Gonna finish this off again with a little leftover scallion, and then I'm also gonna put on here some pickled Thai chilies also. You can eat these with it as you go when you dip it, or you can just stack it on top as you dip the chicken. This gives it a nice little flavor bomb. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it.